Hello there, my very good friends. Andy here for WhatCulture Wrestling, filling in for the sexy sartorial genius Adam Nicholas for this, our look at what really matters on these WWE pay-per-views. Wacky attire. This one, of course, is all about Stomping Grounds, which had a really weird level of expectation heading into it because the build, well, there was no build. A bunch of scheduling snafus caused by the ongoing Saudi Arabian deal essentially turned backlash in California to Stomping Grounds in Washington, and that caused all kinds of problems. And it was really difficult to know what kind of show we were actually going to get on Sunday. In fairness to WWE, recent years have largely done away with the glut of terrible, awful, unwatchable B and C level shows. These events usually deliver these days even when hype levels aren't all that high, so there was a chance that despite the lack of build, Stomping Grounds would be a home run. Although with all that said, the general lack of interest in this show was reflected by an apparent lack of ticket sales. As reported a couple of weeks ahead of the event, WWE were really struggling to shift seats for this thing. There was a Ticketmaster map doing the rounds with all kinds of blue dots all over the place, and last night they had to tape off almost the entire hard camera side. Now, in fairness to those who were in attendance, they made one hell of a noise, but the visual was pretty embarrassing and really showcases the lack of interest in WWE live events in 2019. In the face of all of this, you can imagine talent being told to go out there to shock the world, to make Stomping Grounds look far better than it had any right to be. And gear, as evidenced by the people we're about to talk about, was one of the easiest wins. So with all that being said, I'm Andy for WhatCulture Wrestling, and here are 9 hidden meanings behind WWE Stomping Grounds attires. Number 9. The New Day. Forming part of yet another beautiful Jonathan Davenport Jean-Michel Basquiat tribute, the blue and white shimmering attire worn by Big E and Xavier Woods on their Big Banter appearance on the kickoff show and again when they wrestled Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was pretty stunning. And whether by fortune or marvelous design, the attire that they were wearing was adorned by Space Invaders, which is a nice little tribute to Xavier's love of video games. Now, Big E's gold-coloured boots didn't exactly mesh well with the rest of the attire, but the guy's been out for a couple of months and he was an absolute gift on this show. I think we can give him a free pass. Number 8. Tony Nese. It was disappointing to see the Cruiserweight title relegated back to the kickoff show after being promoted to the main card for Money in the Bank last month. But to be fair, the reigning champion heading into the event, Tony Nese, didn't look phased at all. Big Tony Abs had 205 Live branding all over himself, with every inch of his attire adorned with gold, silver, and of course, purple. Recent weeks have seen a number of superstars step up and show their affection for the beleaguered Cruiserweight brand, and as the champion, Tony was more than happy to step forward and represent 205. And although he ended up losing the title to Drew Gulak, both Nese's and the brand's reputation were enhanced by another stellar display. Number 7. Lacey Evans. The sassy Southern Belle was back at it again in the attire stakes after showing up at Money in the Bank wearing an emerald ensemble, however the hell you say that word, complete with cash blasters and banter boots. Bringing forth yet another image of herself battering Becky Lynch on her footwear, Lacey's attire didn't foreshadow any success on the night because obviously she lost, but you've got to admire the flex. The vaudeville/circus look was a visual treat in general, even though Lacey was once again unsuccessful in becoming Raw Women's Champion. And another nice little touch here, the stripes. Of course, a nice little tease for what would come later. Number 6. Ricochet. Irish wrestling legend Rick O'Shea threw out what may have been a tribute to his awesome time in NXT as he wrestled Samoa Joe for the WWE United States Championship. And when you tie it in with what went down after the match, that would make great sense. He was out there wrestling in black and gold, NXT's colours, and after he defeated Samoa Joe to become United States Champion, he headed backstage where a number of former NXT cohorts and, of course, the developmental godfather Triple H and Charlotte Flair, for some reason, were all gathered to meet him. It was a really touching show of support for the new champion, and wearing this attire, as well as hugging Daddy Paul, was a nice tribute to Ricochet's fantastic spell in NXT. Number 5. Rowan. Big old Rowan has been seen sporting a number of different metal band t-shirts since he started hanging out with Daniel Bryan, with the likes of Amon Amarth, Corrosion of Conformity, and My Boys Behemoth all adorning his massive chest. Well, at Stomping Grounds last night, he had another band shirt, and this one, once again, was for Icelandic juggernaut Solstafir, who he had previously represented on the 28th of January episode of Monday Night Raw. As well as once again highlighting the man's exceptional music taste, the band's name Solstafir roughly translates to sunbeams, which is a nice little metaphor for the rays of light that him and Daniel Bryan are currently attempting to shine on SmackDown's tag division. Number 4. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss accused Bayley of peaking in NXT in the harshest line on last week's SmackDown episode of A Moment of Bliss, and at Stomping Grounds, she forced her opponent to remember the exact moment when she may have peaked. Taking at least partial influence from Disney's Maleficent, Alexa ended up showing up in a colour scheme that was almost identical to that Bayley wore in her brilliant Brooklyn battle with Asuka back in the day. That match would prove to be Bayley's last ever in NXT, and Alexa, well, she was out there to make the SmackDown Women's Champion come face to face with her complex past in order to pave a fresh future. Number 3. Bayley. A regular feature on these lists, Bayley usually comes through with something interesting on her attire, and at Stomping Grounds, she came out with something that really reflects her recent resurgence. She was wearing blue and silver, the colours of SmackDown Live, the brand that has completely saved may be a strong word, improved her WWE career. Since switching shows and taking her new home's women's title, Bayley has shown the kind of aggression that was sorely lacking during her original run over on Raw. And the butterfly motif that first appeared at Money in the Bank was back as well, as Bayley continues to break free from the creative chrysalis that neutered rather than nurtured her career for years. And at number 2, here's a dog, the big dog, Roman Reigns. Well, they can't all be sophisticated, subtle, or in this case, particularly well hidden. Last night, Roman Reigns' flag jacket came adorned with a big dog, because he's the big dog, and the big dog is going to wear something with a big dog on it. Big dog. Massive bloody pooch. Okay, yes, this is all just a little bit dopey, but isn't it quite amazing that in WWE, the land of the literal, the place that subtlety goes to die, that this is the first time this has happened? And at number 1, Seth Rollins. Seth the Chef debuted the red, silver and blue number at Super Showdown just the other week, and given the way that show went, there's every chance that more people saw it on this very column than they did on the Saudi Arabian show itself. How many people actually watched that? You tell me. Now, this colour scheme was designed to mirror the quantum suits worn in Avengers Endgame, particularly at a point where the heroes banded together, built some kind of wacky time machine, and sent themselves all out to various points of history, important moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And speaking of time travel, it would be really helpful if Rollins was wearing an actual quantum suit at the time he sent this stupid ass tweet out just before Stomping Grounds. If he could go back in time and delete that, I think it would serve him very well going forward, given the massive shower of piss that him and Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans served up in the main event. So that's it, guys, our weird, wacky and wonderful trip through all the weird, wacky and wonderful attires sported by WWE superstars at Stomping Grounds. But as always, I'm curious to know what you thought, so head down to the comment section below and let us know. And once you've done that, please head over to WhatCulture.com and check out the very article on which this piece is based, written by my very good and very old friend, Michael Hamflet. He's so bloody old, and the link will be down in the description below. And once you've done that, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and then you can follow us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE and myself at Andy H. Murray if you're into weird looking bald guys who kind of resemble a fat Moby. Bye!
Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and if you're a fan of what you've just seen, then make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for daily wrestling podcasts, where we not only review Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, we also discuss the events before and after of pay-per-views. We have roundtable discussions discussing burning wrestling issues, interviews, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from WhatCulture, and I'll see you soon.